So, Rox, you know, that time I read in your book about your name change, because it was Roxanne Fontana. Now that is a great name on its own. I mean, Fontana.
I know everyone
cool
used to
name.
tell me Roxanne Fontana.
Yeah, such a cool name. But you decided to change it to Roxanne. Did this have something to do with Anita Pallenberg and the police?
Oh, when she said that, no, it didn't. What it had to do with was I stopped being called Roxanne Fontana at my shows. I started being called Ruzhenka, right?
Yeah.
Because I had the group Ruzhenka and the Big Dream. It was a psychedelic group. Psychedelic jams, blues jams, and that was in the early 90s when grunge was going on. Yeah. But we had a residency at the bitter end, so I guess we did well if you think about that.
Yeah.
And it was cool, you know. I didn't care about grunge or what was going on, like trying to be, you know, I just like forget any of this nonsense anymore. Just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So we had a psychedelic band. My guitar player loved me because I said, no, keep playing the jams, you know. So it was cool. So it was Ruzhenka and the Big Dream, which is a storybook. She called them Ruzhenka, which is Czech Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everybody, I had a crazy love life, you know, in the book. You probably, and especially with the Czechs, the Czech community. I had a lot of Czech boyfriends.
Yeah. Okay.
So when Ruzhenka and the Big Dream stopped, about 4 years later, I thought, well, now what am I going to do? And I just didn't want to go back to being Roxanne Fontana. I just thought, oh, well, she's over that Ruzhenka thing now. So I thought, you know, I'm just keep going.
Okay, but
and so I changed it to Roxanne because my mother wanted to name me Roxanne. So it was legitimate. I didn't feel guilty.
That shot of you on front of the magazine in New York, you're quoted as being the hippest chick in town.
Yeah, that was so embarrassing. Oh,
that's a heck of a label.
Yeah, it was.
And you were on the front page.
And you know who wrote it? The girl who wrote it was married to Robert Gordon.
And which magazine was that?
Downtown, yeah.
Downtown,
East Village magazine.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so Robert Gordon's wife wrote the article, which was really flattering. Because he's, you know, he's like New York rock royalty, you know. And she called me. She said, they're going to make it the cover story. I said, the cover story? Yeah, and oh, I didn't tell you what I named the article? And I said, no. And she said, the hippest chick in New York. I said, Renee, how could you do that to me?
I tell you what, Rox, that's a heck of a good shot of you on there as well. And they switched it to the hippest lady.
Well, they had a few pictures to choose from, and I was terrified they'd pick one of the other ones that were much better. And I thought, oh no, people will think I'm beautiful. Don't.
Oh, I tell you,
so they picked that one, which was the one that had the personality.
No, I think it looks great.
It was cool.
And around this time, you're thinking that there's some sort of similarity between what you're doing and Chrissie Hynde with the Pretenders, is that right?
No, I always liked the Pretenders, and I was thrilled to know that she was Virgo, you know.
Yeah.
But the similarities, I mean, I guess, singer-songwriter, girls with a personality and a guitar. Yeah. And the same sign. I think our birthdays are a few days apart. So.
And how about attitude?
Yeah. She was a rough chick when she started, with her female Jeff Beck kind of hip swagger.
Yeah.
And, but I wasn't really, you know, I was a fan because you heard it on the radio, but I didn't actually buy it. But, you know, you heard it on the radio. But people would identify me like that because people do that, you know. They're not me. I wake up with myself every day, but I'm doing a sound check at CBGB's, and they say, oh, okay, now we'll do the Pretenders guitar. And it surprised me, and it shouldn't, but it did, because I don't, you know, I've never thought of myself as, oh yeah, I'm just like Chrissie Hynde that's out. Yeah, I was into the Byrds, you know. I discovered the Byrds not until the 70s. Because I was, you know, that's when I could afford to buy albums.
Yeah.
Because I bought singles as a kid, like a lot of us did. I feel very influenced by him. Yeah. And if I flatter myself by saying that, you know, it's sort of second nature to want to come up with a lyric that's either fun or intelligent. And that's what, you know, he does. It's either a fun sort of, when I say fun, I mean capricious kind of thing, or it's making a statement. And that's influenced the way I write. I couldn't write bad lyrics. I mean, there's people who are into music that's really popular, like Bon Jovi or whatever. It's all cliches. And I just think, oh my God.
Well, Dylan has an ambiguity in his delivery.
No, but that's the way it should be, because if the guy next door can write it, then what do you write? Who needs you then, you know? the whole thing about the public, and this is why music isn't magical anymore, is because the public wants to hear something and feel something. Oh, yeah, that's what I wish I could say.
Yeah.
He's really hit that in me.
Obviously, you as an American girl growing up in New York, this place may have been thought of by you as some sort of mystical, magical, spellbound place.
Yeah.
And then obviously the interest with these bands and the Jones fan club made you come over to England, which is now where you live. You know, and you could live more or less anywhere because you've got like dual citizenship in all sorts of places, haven't you?
I'm now eligible for British citizenship.
Yeah.
But I have to take a test with like shortbread recipe or something.
Yeah.
But it should be on British rock. I pass.
All right.
But I don't think they have any British rock. You never know with this country. They may have a
If they ask you a few questions about the Stones, you'll get through, I think.
Trivial Pursuit. Yeah, you know. But I have to take the test to do it, and it costs a lot of money. And then if you fail the test, you lose your money.
Oh, scary.
I think it's like £1,000 or something. It's up to now.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, it's really expensive. Maybe not 1,000, but close, I think.
Yeah.
And but I think I might do it.
Right.
Because I don't want to stay here forever. But you know, sometimes every day I drive through England, where I live in the country, like here in Sussex, and say how much I love England.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not thrilled with English people, I'll be honest with you.
No, yeah.
I'm not.
There's good and bad.
But I always love the Czechs, you know. But then they do stupid things too, like chase pigs around at a party.
Yeah, that's
do you know
right.
that? They chase the pig around at the party. They have a party, and they have the pig that they've had for months. I've been invited to these things, but I haven't gone. And then at the end of the party, they're all drunk, but they never act it. The Czechs. They drink like Russians.
Wait a second. Why is there a pig at the party in the first place?
Because they're going to kill him. They kill the pig and then they cook him and then you eat it. This is a Czech party.
Okay.
So I've been invited to that, but I've never gone to it. But I love the Czechs. They're fun.
You had a thing for Ivan Kral.
Yeah, I was madly in love with him when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time.
So is that where the interest started?
With the Czechs, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I write about it in my book the first time that I saw him. And then to find out that he was from this really sort of mysterious place, you know, a country like Czechoslovakia, which it was at the time in the mid-70s.
Yeah. And communist.
And communist. And finding out all about him, and you know, we got really close because I was just this crazy girl who was so crazy about Ivan, and he loved it, you know. And so we used to write to each other at my house for many years. I was always on the guest list for Patty shows, which was great.
Yeah, because he was with Patti Smith's group.
Yes.
Was he with the Stooges for a while? I think.
No, he played with Iggy after Patty retired.
Okay, later on.
Yeah. He played with Iggy. He made a record with him. That's when he took my demos in on Iggy's time.
Yeah.
When they were doing the Party album, and he took my demos in and he remastered and he opened up the tracks on one of my songs and played keyboards. Unfortunately, it's not really good. Otherwise, I'd release it. But it's not really good. It was great at the time, especially Ivan Krauss playing on, you know, my record. I made those demos. I think I was 20, and so that was like a really great honor, you know, that he did that. But we had known each other years before that. Just me as his little fan, you know, little girl running around. And, but like I said, he loved it. You know, he was really into this, and but it messed up my head really bad, and I couldn't have a normal teenagehood.
And she reminded me a bit of you and her behaviour.
I love her. She's my idol.
She's like a female Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Gracie is I love Gracie. The Jefferson Airplane, when I was a kid growing up, that was probably the first exposure, because they were the girl groups, they were the Supremes, but with the Airplane, that was a whole other thing. That was the first exposure of a chick being in a band. Yeah. You could grow up and be in a band. And
she was so rock and roll.
And be one of the band. And
but I didn't realise how rock and roll till I read this interview recently. Yeah. It made me laugh out loud in some places.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
You know.
I'd love to. I've never met her. I'd love to. She's cool.
Well, Starship and Friends,
I don't like that stuff.
Are going to be playing the Borderline soon.
Yeah, well, I'm not into the Starship stuff. I'm just into the Airplane and the Great Society.
Is she.
Really? Oh,
God, she She didn't have a kind word to say about we built this city on rock and roll.
Oh, really?
She hated it.
Yeah?
So did I. I didn't like it a lot.
No, I didn't like it at all. I thought that was like, oh, the Antichrist, the end of the world.
But
Gracie
she apparently said
like
she needed every bit of her acting skill every time she went on stage to sing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's getting out of it like that now, huh?
Yeah, exactly. No, but I believe it. It's just, I mean, you know, come on, commercial 80s.
Did she talk about the Great Society in the interview at all? The band before the airplane? Because they were really rocking.
Yeah, I think that may have been touched on.
They were like a garage band. They weren't as imaginative as the airplane, but they grew. They had like a garage band rock sound.
Yeah.
Great Society. That's where she first did Somebody to Love.
I think she did mention that. Yeah.
And I have their version on a tape somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not commercial at all. It's like a blues jam.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like snaky.
Well, you know, she wrote some really great songs with no help from anyone. You know.
Yeah.
On her own.
Take care of my daughter. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm always there for her. So many mothers are not even at home.
I mean, you know,
this is the era we live in where children do not see their parents.
Exactly. I mean,
so I'm doing things, but I'm always around her.
We haven't even touched on that, the fact that you're a mother as well.
Yeah.
You know. So you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And an awful lot going for you as well.
Yeah, it's good, you know. When I first came to England from Italy, I was really addicted to alcohol. And I'd be sprawled out on the conservatory floor every day, 4 in the afternoon. Be drinking beers because I came from Italy where I would have one of those cartons of wine with lunch every day. And at night have a red wine, lunch have a white wine. So I came here really sort of addicted to alcohol. But that was just a short phase. It only lasted like 8 or 9 months. Now I drink 4 times a year.
But you are prone to addiction, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. But I'm also prone to come off it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I never had a coke problem. How many people can say they've never had a cocaine problem? Who love cocaine, but never had a problem with it?
To be, you know...
I'm too scared.
To be into it, and so quickly and so suddenly, but then still to be able to walk away from it, that means you're not an addict, really, in my opinion.
But I'm too scared to get sick. This is where the hypochondria comes in.
Yeah.
So that always pulls me back.
Yeah.
I like to party, but if I'm going to get ill, okay, got to stop.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that kind of stamina. They just get sick and go down.
Because I know this is very important to you. Environment and everything as well, isn't it? I mean, the green record and your constant campaigning against the chemtrails and all the pollution and everything. You know. I mean,
well, I just think that people
else.
can find something good to make money off.
Yeah.
Make money doing something responsible and moral. I mean, I just read how the government's all excited because energy companies are bringing in all these jobs for fracking and. Find something better to do with money. You know? All the council houses need batteries for the kids' toys. All the council houses need painting. You know, where you're paying all your money in council tax. They all need a new carpet.
Yeah.
Why are we, you know, go build a wind farm. You know, leave the earth alone. It's too dangerous to be digging. Like, they already said it causes earthquakes. They know, cause and effect. But yet, this is the great news. You know, I'm a capitalist, I really am, but find something good to make money from.
Yeah.
You know, make somebody feel better instead of building a chemical agent. What kind of nuttiness is that?
See, I told you we'd get us started on this.
No, what kind of craziness is they going to build chemical agents to use against somebody they never met?
Yeah.
Find something good to do. Make a dress.
Yeah,
you know?
like you do.
Yeah, make a dress, for God's sake, you know? Or, you know, something responsible. It's weird. I just don't understand it, you know. And I don't really believe in conspiracy theories, but the behavior of people can make you believe in that because you don't understand why anybody. But then I guess it's just what you do for a living, and then you get into power. Like if you make orange trays for a living and you get into power, you're going to keep wanting to make those orange. That's going to be the #1 Fracking, who cares? Orange trays, that's the thing.
Orange
so these people that made money doing these fields, energy or whatever, that's their field. So they just keep pushing that agenda. Or the war machine, which is to me nuts. And all the, the fake Christians around and everything.
I had no idea until you brought them down as props that orange trays were in these days. And the way
it matches
your clothes. Now, if I'd only known, I could have worn something orange as well. Well, you certainly spilled the beans in some fairly intimate areas with some very well-known people.
Yeah, well, I had to do that, right? Because I didn't want to do that. Because you could probably get the message from the book that I'm really shy,
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to do that. It was really difficult for me to do that. But I know that people expect that, and it's so soft-core compared to what's out there. Anyway, but I am shy.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a prude also. So, I'm not one of these wild, electrified, sex goddesses or something. It's just not my nature. So it was difficult for me to do that, but I couldn't not do that.
No,
you have to do it. You're writing the book. You
people
have to tell people.
Don't they?
Yeah, you have to say it. And plus, the whole point of the book was to bring people there so they feel it. This is what's wrong when people who are celebrities write books, because they're so afraid of their public image and all that. I don't have a public image because I'm an unknown singer. So to write a book, I had the freedom to be nuts and honest and just see what it reads like. So that's
great.
Well,
I think it reads really well. So I don't know how you can remember it all.
Yeah, well, I kept journals. I'm still keeping journals. I'm up to book 90.
Because I can't remember anything, hardly.
Yeah, I have 90 books, 90 journals.
Wow.
That go back to 1975.
So everything's documented.
I threw out a lot of them because when I went, I don't know if you read this part in the book about my whole occult student thing. When I gave up magic and the occult and became a Christian, I destroyed a lot of my stuff. And I'm so angry I did it because, but it was making a symbolic statement to myself to get rid of it. And I think I just kept all the song lyrics from that era and threw the books out. Because I was reading my cards every month. I was reading a lot of people's cards. I talk about...
When you say
Joey Ramone called me one night and he said, we're doing this thing at the Ritz. I write about this in my book. We're doing this thing at the Ritz, and Stiv said, you should read everybody's cards. They're going to put you in a tent. I said, oh, great, I'll do it. Yeah, that's cool. But I want to play. He's like, oh, what do you mean? I said, I want to play. I play. Stiv knows I play. I want to play. I don't want to just be the card reader. Well, we've already got the bill, and so you want to do it? Joey, you ever speak to him the way he talks? The sort of Queens lilt?
Yeah.
So you want to do it?
You lived in Queens for a while.
Yeah, he's from Forest Hills. Yeah. So I said, no, I'm not doing it if I'm just a card reader. Too bad, I should have done it, of course.
I don't blame you, though.
But I thought, this is crazy, because I'm writing songs better than these motherfuckers.
No, yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't blame you for saying that.
And I was. Eyes of the Defeated is from that era. It's from back then, is when I wrote the song.
It's a great record.
So for me to be sitting at home with a guitar with a song like that, and they only want me to read cards, But whatever. I mean, I love those people. I love Stiv, but... and he respected my music, Stiv. He was rooting for me.
Why are you talking about it?
How did I get onto this
Because we're finding it intensely interesting, that's why.
I was into all that for 11 years, into the magic thing for 11 years, Crowley fanatic. I'm not talking like a dabbler, I'm talking major, had every one of his books, all that.
And you really don't like it, do you? You found out that there's a pernicious side to it that hasn't worked for you, and...
Well, it doesn't work for anybody, because, to say, do what thou wilt, is the opposite of thy will be done, And Crowley knew that he was saying that, and people were saying he was like the devil in 666, and he wasn't, but actually he was. Because if you're going to take that theory, which is Jesus' theory to tell you to say, thy will be done, meaning c'est la vie, basically. Let the Lord and what's out there do for you what's supposed to happen, instead of trying to be a magician and bend the world's will to your will. This is a man that died poor, addicted to opium, so where was his will? It didn't work, did it?
No.
It took me 11 years to get so into what it was, and then to realize that it was bogus, that he was stupid, you know? But I've recently come to learn about, his father died when he was 11. And his father was a door-to-door Bible sales guy. He also had a lot of money. They were very loaded in Leamington.
Yeah.
And so he
went to school around here.
Yeah.
Alistair Crowley, I believe, went to Tunbridge School. It's a public school. It's very
well,
expensive.
he went to a boarding school.
Yes, Tunbridge School.
And they treated him terrible. So that was his first rebelliousness. Yeah. But then his father died. Now he loved his father. And so, you're 11 years old and your father, who's praying to God, loving Jesus every day, dies. So what does that do to you? It makes you hate God, right? So to me, that's all it is. It's not even, people think, oh, it's like, you're on this level, you know all these magic. Alistair was just like that because he was mad that God took his daddy away. So he went into took his mystical heart and brought it somewhere else. And it failed.
And what about others well-known black arts practitioners like Donald Campbell?
Yeah, I just think it's, I feel, after finding Jesus in the light, the dark is afraid of me, as they say, I feel so empowered in the Lord, and in what's right, really right, not this bogus, fake Christian stuff with soldiers and all that, I don't believe in that. And that offends a lot of people, but there's just no asterisk on the end of the, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill, except for Muslims. Thou shalt not, except if somebody's trying to kill you. No, that's all it says, And these people make a whole, society off of something that's completely twisted and not even an accurate interpretation. And when I realized that, that's when I realized it was all a conspiracy to get me away from the Lord and away from what's best for me, which is just absolute 100% faith and no fear and no worry. It's so hard to do, but if you love Jesus enough, you can do it. You can let it all go, and when you let it all go, everything is wonderful in your life. It just happens. And having studied Crowley's life, I saw that he was trying to manipulate, which is what magic is, and he had nothing but bad luck. So therefore, it's not the way to go, right? I mean, if it's what's the point? Yeah. So I'm more into Edward Crowley than into Alistair Crowley.
Alistair Crowley's the famous one.
Yeah, he's the son.
He's the one that gets the name checks and the rock songs, and he's the one that sells the books.
Yeah.
Why is that, you think?
Well, I know why I was into him. He was a great writer, very funny writer, rebellious. Yeats hated him. He was the rebel. He was the one, he was like me. He was the guy in the crowd that's the troublemaker. So that's why people like that are always, remembered, I guess. But he was, he was wrong ultimately. It led me down a really bad spiritual path because I had nothing but bad luck when I was into that nonsense. I mean, I'm still into astrology. Yeah. And in a way, astrology is magic because you're looking at where things are and what the transits are. But if you do it in the original way it was meant for, which was like in the wise men days when when major happenings are happening to the planet, not just to you as a chick or whatever, but to the planet, which is the way astrology was originally. Technically, it was not about your personal horoscope. It was about when is the famine coming, when is the Antichrist coming, a bad man, a good man. And so I try to use astrology. I'm very into political astrology. There's a whole field out there of political astrologers who've said that Republicans will not get back into the White House until, I don't know. Yeah. Everybody's been paranoid since 9/11. Don't you find that's true?
I'm afraid nowadays there's a thin line between paranoia and self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it helps to be a little bit paranoid, otherwise you're just going to be a victim.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Paranoid, the new form of self-defense.
How sorry is that?
It's the 21st century, that's the way it is now.
Yeah. But it's all, we're living in interesting times, as wise men say. This is to that. It's a nice steam train going by.
Is it a steam train?
It sounds it,
In your head. In your head, it's a steam train.
Yeah, I hear it.
It's Thomas the Tank Engine with a little face on the front.
Hey, come on, you go up here. I didn't have him.
We have him down in Tunbridge Wells, proper Thomas the Tank.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, with the face on the front.
Really?
Takes kids and stuff.
Oh yeah?
Proper size engine, proper steam engine.
Why is it down here? Is it related to, was it founded here?
I don't know.
Probably.
But this sure is a freaky place. Mitch Mitchell used to live here.
Yeah, it's great. Anything close to Julie is,
Yeah, it sure is a weird place. We got it all there.
I love it. So what about your book?
We're not here to talk about my book.
No? Okay.
But if you'd like to, spread the word throughout your sites, it would be, I'd be considering it a massive favour.
Well, I think that you should talk about it on your radio station.
Oh, yeah.
I think you'll sell a lot of copies.
I'll talk about it
because
every
people
once.
like you.
I'll try and get away with it as much as I can, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true too. You may not be able to. Exactly. Now buy my book.
Exactly. you got to have a certain subtlety about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
So, is that it, Rox?
I guess so.
It's a wrap.
Bye-bye, JVC.
Roxanne Fontana, American Girl. It's a wrap.
In amber boots when skies are new, one starts to wonder what to do. As you emerge, it's wise to be sure it's good to know just what can